So LeBron pressed Stephen A. Now, I heard they had audio on it. Hopefully, Low got the clip, but let's see what's going on. Stephen A. Smith crossed the line with LeBron James.
About it, the LeBron and Stephen A. Smith drama. Personally speaking, I decided to put this off a couple of days, or at least I attempted to talk about it. However, as time progressed, Stephen A. Smith decided to, divulge a little bit more information of what happened during the confrontation, in which I listened to, and originally I had a fairly neutral stance on it. However, as time has continued to progress, personally speaking, I will refuse to allow Stephen A. Smith to play the victim in all of this, because I think that is completely crazy and disingenuous.
Because it's incidents like this that people try to piggyback off of. And they try to use it as an excuse to talk about me, hating on brothers. Me, the brother who is the ambassador for HBCU Week, that's generated millions in scholarship dollars for thousands of kids. Me.
What are you talking about? Talking about Stephen A, bro? All right, so is this in regards to Bronny? Because that's what I meant. That's what the narrative been getting pushed online, and I could believe he would have pressed him about Bronny, because Stephen A been having takes on LeBron James for all of these years since he been in the league. So what changed to make him press him? That's why I believe the Bronny thing so much. But if he pressing him about that, and that's what it is about, what is you helping? That's great. That's amazing that you helping HBCUs and all of that. But what is that doing? What does that have to do with Bronny James? He didn't go to a HBCU. He went to USC. He one of the most privileged kids that could have ever been born in the country. Your dad is LeBron James. Like, he's not one of those kids. That don't have anything to do with that. He's not putting down black people. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Me, who's helped diversify ESPN with the opportunities as
Yeah,
executive
that's cool.
producer of First Take Black folks.
So for those who don't know, but I'm pretty sure you do know, a couple of days ago, the Lakers matched up with the Knicks. LeBron confronted Stephen A. Smith quite literally in the middle of the game. The confrontation seemed very heated between the two, where LeBron effectively said something and then walked right off. The very next
That good press. You know what I'm saying?
day on First Take and even on his podcast, Stephen A. Smith illuminated some of the concerns, or at least where a lot of this frustration stemmed from, in which it had a lot to do with Bronny. And then in the following days, there was a back and forth between LeBron and Richard Jefferson, again on the court, in which you can kind of see LeBron mouthing off the iconic phrase of, please, LeBron, I'm pleading with you as a father. Now, again, originally, my take on this was fairly neutral. Anyone who knows me on this channel knows that I've been very critical of LeBron, Bronny, and the whole nepotism dialogue, in large part because how disingenuous everyone was in terms of covering the whole story early on this season. However, I could also see, as time has progressed, how nasty the dialogue has continued to be, and once more consistently been disingenuous. And I do believe Stephen A. Smith's coverage on it was a bit disingenuous as well.
Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his NBA career and 0 for 7 from three-point range. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA game. I am pleading with LeBron.
I mean, is he playing in the G League though? Like, if you're gonna do that, then bring up his G League numbers too, so you can kind of give him a fair shake at least. Like, I don't think he should be playing in the first quarter. Like, if he doing that, I agree with you on that. But like, at least keep it fair and bring up the G League. He's having success in the G League where he could kind of be himself and develop. Because I'm in the group. I'm in the party of he should have probably just did another year at USC to get a full year of like just being an amateur before he goes to the league. But obviously, that's not what happened. But hey,
LeBron James as a father. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
And so when LeBron decided to confront Stephen A. Smith, though it could be perceived as wrong, and I have no problem with leaning on that side of this topic, I do believe that if you are LeBron, this is something that not only you signed up for, but you effectively signed up your son for as well. Right. For people to talk this way about him and discuss his game in a very disingenuous, lacking context, lacking detail way, but you kind of know that comes with the space. But now, since Stephen A. Smith keeps running his mouth about this, in all honesty, I don't care. Stephen A. Smith, you have to stop acting as if like you're a victim, because it's a entire role that you're playing, especially from anyone who knows the true details behind not only this story, but also how ESPN and how everything over there functions from a rating standpoint or from a topic standpoint. Because the bullshit that you've been getting off for the past week or two, it ain't flying no more.
On Friday, First Take, and on the Stephen A. Smith Show, your podcast on YouTube, you addressed the LeBron and RJ exchange on Monday on your show. So what do you make of LeBron confronting you in the aftermath of that situation?
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father.
Oh!
Did you tell before logo? Before logo, did you tell LeBron James that you thought it was some bullshit when he came to you about it? Like right there and in that moment, did you tell LeBron James to his face that? Because you're gonna sit up there on is that Gilbert Arenas? Is that Gil's arena he's sitting on? Because I know that's the little mediator dude. But like why I don't mean to call him little, you know what I'm saying, but no disrespect. But like still, like why are you sitting up there like playing this tough guy role and then still knowing the power that you got at ESPN? You're not a victim at all. Like Lo said, you control these takes and these topics about what you're talking about. You can give context. You can give context to him and what he's going through going through his transition as an NBA player, as the son of LeBron James. But in the same sense, cover him fair. And now it's like you just dogpiling on him. You just dogpiling on him because you know that's gonna sell. When if this was any other player who had these numbers that was not LeBron James' son, you wouldn't even cover him. He wouldn't even be on the screen. But I get it, he's LeBron James' son, so you got to talk about it.
Oh, so it's weak now. Oh, it is weak. Very interesting and odd to me the choice of words we have for people in today's game. Because back in the day, if an NBA player had a problem with someone in the media and they addressing them man to man, all of a sudden that's how it's supposed to get done. We talk about man to man. Now all of a sudden, if somebody approach you in a man to man manner, now all of a sudden it was weak. It was some bullshit. The reason why I'm not going to allow you to get that off because you're the same one for years now, sitting here talking about.
And I feel the need to call him on it. I couldn't let it go. And from now on, this implication that I don't know stuff, y'all better think twice about that. Because when these NBA games come, you're going to see me at these arenas. And remember what I said to you. I can find out more in 10 minutes at a basketball arena than I can on the phone with 50 different people inside of 2 weeks. Think about that and ask yourself, do you really want to go there? But I will say this lastly. You don't want to make an enemy out of me. And I'm looking right into the camera. And I'm going to say it again. You do not want to make an enemy out of me. I'm not having it.
You went on Friday on your podcast, all soft tone, talking about, I don't want no enemies. But we all know over the years, you've literally said the opposite. You don't want to make an enemy out of me. That's how you've been talking. So now that somebody actually approached you, now all of a sudden.
Hey, bro, this nigga Low crazy as hell, dog. But yeah, bro, you acting tough. Like, I don't like, I know that's an older clip and we using it up against that one. Yes, he was acting like that. But again, to his point, he confronted you person to person. He wasn't exuding or matching the same energy that LeBron was giving him. That he's sitting up there saying that it was weak. When he came to you as a man, he put his hands on you. You look real stern. He was animated, but you look very calm, very somber, very, very, very reserved, Stephen A. Smith. So I just want to know. I want to know what the vibe is.
It was weak.
LeBron had walked out of the timeout, and I turned around, and he's right here in my face. He said, yo, you got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. And I said, all right, though. And he walked off. And so when I went on the air the next morning, first things first, believe it or not, I know this is shocking for people to believe, but I didn't have any intentions on talking about it until I woke up that morning and saw that the shit had gone viral. Once the shit had gone viral, the bosses at ESPN, now you got to talk about it. This is you and him. This man was the one that said, you want me, draft him. I'll come play anywhere he's at. It ain't even about the money. This man is the one who said he's better than some of the NBA players are right now when he was in high school. If you go back and look at the tape, back then I said, stop. You can't do this. If you do that shit, you're bringing more pressure on your son. LeBron, stop.
Now, to this right here, I agree. I think everyone, including myself, I was like, bro, I get it. You're talking like a father, but you of all people know what unrealistic expectations feel like. You of anyone knows that. So why you would even place that at the feet of your own son is crazy. Even you yourself said that one of my biggest.
I'm gonna stop him right there because if that's actually what LeBron said to him, and Stephen A is not lying, which he shouldn't have any reason to lie. He's a pro athlete. Like I get it. I get to that show, and that's bad. I would not want my father to go press, who's on the same team as me, to go press somebody in the media about talking noise about me, especially knowing we just did what we just did. You brought me on this team, so on and so forth, and I'm a professional. That's what you choose to do. Trash. Oh, I'm gonna say it's trash, but like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I get it. Like he probably was just mad at your son. You don't raise them up. I don't have no kids, so maybe I just don't understand yet. But I am a son, and I would not want my dad to do that. I would not want my dad to do that at all. So that's where I say I gotta call out LeBron and be like, "Hey, bro, that was what you said was wrong. I know your heart was in the right place, but hey."
After myself, making him a junior because that comes with expectations. So you adding on to that, yes, I believe that was unfair. I think that is a fair assessment in which LeBron was wrong in. However, we are so far removed from that point at this juncture in the timeline, it's borderline irrelevant.
I'm hearing all of this. Yeah, we just gonna go along with it. Open the night I'm talking about. Open the night. And we just gonna go along with it. Or you hearing the Lakers are just going along with it. You're hearing this stuff. Now, I'm not saying they told me that, meaning the commissioner or Jeannie Buss, but I'm saying you're hearing that from those organizations. So I'm getting all of this. One of those cats standing
Staples Center.
Ken Griffey, Steve Senior and Junior, who all-stars, Hall of Famer, and Ken Griffey Jr., they got them there. Again, I've been covering it for 30 years, not NBA sports. You understand? So how you think it's all looking to me? It's a little bit too choreographed. But I'm still. I'm still like this. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying?
Now, this is the part where I agree with him, but at the end of the day, that's how you chose to go about it. Just because you chose about being fake and phony with the other malarkey doesn't now then justify however you decide to cover it when there's new information provided. As he continues to go about this, let me further add new details to everything that has occurred since then, in particular with the draft. Bronny was drafted 55th overall pick. That's literally where everybody said that he was going to go. He was going to go, at best, late second round. Also, there were a bunch of people sitting there talking about, allegedly, like you said, it was some questionable reporting on if teams like Boston and Phoenix and Golden State, if they were actually entertaining if Bronny was going to get drafted here, or they were just trying to make it sound fly to make it seem as if like he actually was worthy of the selection. So the fact of the matter is we are now at a point where some of the comments that were being made about Bronny might have actually been justified, because if you were having any interest in Bronny, he actually would be a better prospect than the niggas that y'all actually drafted over him or around him. So that point is now mute. But of course, you're not bringing that up.
Now you got to go to the G League and earn your stripes. Instead, he's playing and playing and playing. And I'm getting stats. And he go against Philly. They put him in the first quarter. Tyrese and them gave it to him. And then they plaster on Sports Center 0.3 points, 0.3 rebounds, 0.4 assists, blah, blah, blah. And I said, damn. Why? Because I'm like, now I can't ignore it. Because how am I doing my job? If now you put me in a position where, because they put the stats up, everyone is blowing it up. They're putting it on all their social media pages. And it's like, how all of that's happening, but Stephen A. Smith got nothing to say? I can't get away with it no more.
So this is the other part that is just so disgusting and disingenuous. And this is where Stephen A. Smith, you lose me with a lot of this. I'm the media. I cover the media. Y'all just talk about the media. And so the standard in which I speak about it is higher than everybody else. And that's why I'm in a different echelon about that. You lose me with that shit when you talk about what's going on in Bronny's career as if like there isn't nuance and details that need to be outlined about it. The way that Stephen A. Smith breaks this down, he's breaking it down as if like he's giving you all of the necessary details that led up to that game against the Philadelphia 76ers, which he's not. When Stephen A. Smith talks about he's playing and he's playing and he's playing in blowout minutes. I don't know anybody who would dare call that playing.
Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds.
You showing me the numbers that someone posts up when they're out there playing 1 or 2 minutes in a game that's already been decided.
Oh no, Stephen A. No, bro, you was doing good. You was doing good. You was doing good. I knew he wasn't getting no prime time minutes, right? Because at the time they still had D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, the primary ball handler, LeBron James handling a rock a lot. So like, when was he gonna get into that rotation? Gabe Vincent playing. So like, when was he? And he's a rookie. I feel like the NBA standard and the NFL, because I watch a lot more NFL. The NFL standard for rookies is way different. If you a late bloomer, like later on in the season, or you trying to get developed as a rookie, they let you do that in the NFL. But like NBA is because there's so much visibility to it, and they just see your face. You just not on a 53-man roster. You got to get out there and produce. And it don't help that your name freaking LeBron James.
When the Lakers are emptying out their bench, nigga, that is not an accurate representation of who that player is because they're out there only playing a minute or two of basketball. Secondly, there was no discussion about the fact that in that game against the Sixers, Gabe Vincent is out, Vanderbilt is out, and AD got hurt in that game. Thirdly, if you're going to sit here and talk about Bronny, the defensive player, why the hell are you talking about his scoring numbers? But fourth and finally, if you believe it's your responsibility to talk about his numbers, then why the hell are you not talking about his numbers in the G League when it would have justified him getting a little bit more burn?
What I say earlier? What did I say earlier on in the video? I was like, it's something to this 1.3. He ain't mentioned not a stat about the G League. When he said he need to go earn his stripes in the G League and he playing and playing and playing, but he was playing and playing and playing in the G League and everybody's seeing it. Like I'm seeing it happen, but he didn't mention that. And I was waiting on Low to drop a clip to be like, hey, Stephen A mentioned his G League stats and he ain't do something. But he didn't whisper about him playing in the G League or how he was performing in the G League where he could actually flourish and develop.
In the NBA. Why are you not talking about the fact that he just got off of the best game of his G League career when the game before in the G League, he put up like 31 points and 3 steals? Why didn't you talk about that? See, when you add that context of, hey, the numbers that ESPN right now putting up on the screen, it's unfair because he's only playing blowout minutes. Hey, the reason why he may have gotten to the game is because XYZ players are hurt and they need a defensive-oriented player. Hey, when we talk about his numbers, us using points doesn't really make any sense because he's a defensive-oriented player. Hey, we also to take into consideration that he's getting some more reps in the league because he's actually killing it in the G League. Hey, and the Lakers do this all the time. You can go through the Lakers roster right now, and there's like a handful of players who will only play a game or two here and there because the Lakers all season long have been trying to round out their lineup or their bench with a bunch of players who play in the G League. So Bronny really and truly isn't that far removed from being in the NBA. But this idea that, oh, he's out there, he's playing, bro, he's playing blowout minutes. That's what he's doing. So to even portray this as something as, oh, look at how bad he's playing in the NBA, but not talk about what he's doing in the G League with more reps, more rhythm, more minutes is crazy. Talking about what somebody does in the last 2 to 3 minutes of a blowout game, but don't talk about when they're receiving 30 plus minutes in the G League that may have justified him getting some more opportunity in the NBA is crazy. And even when he's played much better in the NBA, post that game, you niggas still don't talk about it. So spare me with this bullshit about how it's my job. It's my job. Nigga, you're not talking about any other second round pick. Y'all niggas ain't really talking about anybody in this draft, first or second. Because if
that's what I'm saying. But we know why, Low, and you know why, Low. It's sales to post that he's only scoring 0.3 points. That's gonna get people to watch. They're gonna hate watch the people that don't like LeBron James, the people that don't like the Lakers. They're gonna tune into that. They're gonna engage with that low. They're not, you know what I'm saying? Like even if, but the nice thing about Bronny James coverage is whether he has a good game or a bad game, you're gonna get engagement, and it wouldn't hurt Stephen A. Smith to post the good stuff or talk about the good stuff because the people that hate him are gonna comment, and the people that love him are gonna comment, and they're gonna engage still. So I don't. This is why and now I'm starting to put the pieces together as to why LeBron James still press dog. Because now it's like, dang, you know in the media that you still gonna get the engagement whether they like him or not. You still gonna get the engagement. Yeah, I ain't heard a peep about no other rookie to his point. Besides dog that played for the Sixers that, you know what I'm saying, he sprained he injured his MCL and all that. He be on TikTok and shit.
If you were, then you would be talking about what the fuck Reed Shepard is doing, and he was a top 5 selection from the Houston Rockets. But you niggas not talking about that. Second thing he said in here, when he just sat there and said, and he said this before, damn, it's all over, everybody talking about, it's percolating, it's all over social media. A, Stephen A. Smith decided to report on this on ESPN and on his channel. Very important information. And the reason for that is because, two, throughout this last week, in the attempt to remove any responsibility for what Stephen A. Smith decides to report, he continues to talk about how, NBA players, what they're really upset about is social media, how anybody can just pick up a microphone and talk about the game.
Social media ain't the media. But what the players have done, adroitly I might add, is lump it all in the same bowl as an excuse to point the finger. In today's generation, you've got all of these outlets, podcasts, TMZs, and everything else in between.
They're talking about you, bro. They don't care about the podcast. They don't care about these regular. I'm not saying me because you know what I'm saying, this channel is only like a little smaller 2000, but like they ain't talking about these other channels that's covering. They talking about y'all that's on national television, boy. Stop playing.
And the players never ever specify. They lump on purpose because it's a way for them to escape accountability for what they're doing.
Which, for someone who may not be too familiar with how this game works, that may have came across as a valid point. But see, someone who is very well versed in media, especially from an independent standpoint, it's contradicting. See, on one hand, you can't sit here and remove yourself from any responsibility and claiming that, y'all getting caught up in social media. But on the other hand, you're telling us that social media, depending on what's trending on social media, dictates what you all talk about on ESPN. See, that's two different things. And Stephen A. Smith, the reason why it's important to highlight that you talked about it on ESPN and on your own show, because on your own show, as an independent media member, you ain't got no boss hovering over you telling you what you got to talk about. You make all the decisions about what you want to talk about there yourself. But when you had the free will to talk about anything you wanted to on your own show, you still followed up following that day talking about the same events and still lacking the context that came behind it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his NBA career and 0 for 7 from three-point range. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA game?
So, of course, if I'm an NBA player, it's easy for me to mix up the two because both of y'all niggas talk the same. The media and social media, y'all have the same talking points. Further proof of this, let's put the Bronny point aside. Everyone comparing Darvin Ham's record last year in the first 20, 25 games to JJ Redick's record in the first 20 to 25 games. That's from social media. Social media was the first platform on Twitter in particular. That was the first time I've ever seen people sitting there counting the numbers every single day. It's 17 and 19. It's 18 and 19. It's 18 and 21. And that was the first time I'd ever seen that. That's a social media talking point. I've been behind the scenes with some of these networks. I know for an irrefutable fact that they use some of the things that are posted on Twitter as talking points on what they decide to go in the next day with. That's an irrefutable fact. And if you don't believe me, we know this because these are the same niggas who got caught using NBA Centel as real quotes. That's what they got duped by a parody Twitter account. That's how we know you niggas use Twitter. So spare me with the bullshit bullshit about, oh, y'all get us all mixed up. You can't get the media mixed up with social media. Nigga, the media talking points, what they decide to discuss, how they gauge what's rating fairly is based off of social media. Because even in that game when Bronny played that poorly, y'all could have led with anything else. Y'all could have led with how great Tyrese Maxey was, or you could have led with the fact that Anthony Davis got hurt and come to find out that was actually the last game that AD played as a Laker. But that's what you could have led with. That's a much more compelling and impactful story than the 4 or 5 minutes that Bronny played in the first quarter. Like, be fucking for real.
Somebody want to play with their brother, like the asses.
Yes,
the asses.
He's
I'm
talking
gonna
about
say
the
shit
spot.
about
Who
their
did?
asses.
Who did? You wasn't on the show.
Justin Holiday.
He got criticized,
They don't
bro.
criticize
I said he was taking up a goddamn roster
Yeah.
spot.
What's wrong with wanting to play with somebody you love? Or feel comfortable
When
with playing
J.R.
with?
Smith and Chris Smith.
JR.
Now, this right here is where it gets so disingenuous and so nasty. And now, because of what Stephen A. Smith said, because he wants us to separate the media from social media, now I'm going to have to side with Nick Young, because let's just keep it a beam. Nobody does not say shit about Thanasis in mainstream media and him playing and stinking it up for the Milwaukee Bucks over the past handful of years. No one says anything about that at all. If anything, people will go out of their way to try to justify why that man was on the Bucks, even though we all know that he was not qualified to be in the NBA whatsoever.
He got criticized for that.
No,
Yes.
they're not in the media like every day like Bronny is.
Well,
Thank you. It's not the same. And I don't ever even remember hearing anybody, and again, Stephen A. Smith, it's your job, remember? It's your job, because we got to have this fucking conversation as if like you're not doing it because it moves ratings. It's your job to talk about NBA players. So why you ain't never talk about the Nassus? You ain't never talked about that shit. And what's crazy is most of y'all don't even know this, but
Cause that's not gonna move. That I'm gonna let him go. But that's not gonna move the ratings, bro. You know, Thanasis, you know what I'm saying? Niggas don't care about that, bro. Niggas don't care about that. They don't even want to give Giannis a face of the league treatment, even though the man I don't want to chip and he got a crazy story and all of that stuff. They don't even want to push him to the forefront like that. But that's a topic for another day. But yeah, nobody's sitting there covering him. I've seen a couple little parody clips here and there circling social media with his lowlights of him doing goofy stuff, but nobody is making like video essays about why Thanasis shouldn't be in the NBA or making a take every single day calling out nepotism or all this other stuff. Or I don't even know, would that count as nepotism if you getting your brother? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, ain't nobody doing all that for Thanasis. Ain't nobody doing all that.
a couple of years ago, Milwaukee had a Greek night, and they may have always had this, but I remember it vividly. They had a Greek night, and at this Greek night, they were celebrating, Giannis and Thanasis. Even after the game, they had a bunch of other people that, if I'm not mistaken, shared the nationality of both Giannis and Thanasis. They sung the national anthem. It was a very, very beautiful story. They had their tweets all in Greek as well. Like, it was a really great story. And to add to it, because Thanasis was there solely because his brother is Giannis, that's the only reason why he was there. They decided during this night, to brothers, Greek night, perfect story, let's put him in the starting lineup, even though Thanasis does not deserve to be in the starting five. Be very mindful at this point. The Bucks are in straight deep post. We're trying to win championship run, and they put him out there in the starting five. Tip off, played about 4 minutes, subbed him out to put in Brook Lopez, and yes, Brook Lopez was available. Subbed him out to put in Brook Lopez, and he never touched the floor ever again. Do you know what First Take decided to lead with the very next show they had? I can't even make this up. I promise you I cannot make this up. Stephen A. still picks LeBron over Patrick Mahomes as the MVP of all of sports. They just made up a topic to put LeBron in after that happened. Let's be fucking real with ourselves here.
Bro, ain't no way, bro. This is why I don't watch First Take no more. I just stopped watching. I stopped watching First Take. I stopped watching First Take because it just became a joke. It just became a joke. Like there's no way. You know what I'm saying? They could have gave it at least like 30 seconds to run. You know what I'm saying? Wanted a quick little read off for the Greek night, but they made up a dumb ass hypothetical involving Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and LeBron James. I get it, it's popular sports media, but damn, not even a clip, not even a graphic. Y'all ain't want to do nothing.
People are talking about it because it's LeBron's son. Spare me with this whole the way that he did it, and I'm pretty sure that certainly adds a level of heightened criticism behind it. But if Bronny played in Utah, you niggas will be talking about it because it pays to be ultra critical and hate on LeBron. Anything that pertains to LeBron pays the bills. You niggas have been so thirsty talking about LeBron when somebody else did it, and y'all were talking about football. You niggas still talked about LeBron. You niggas have been living off of LeBron longer than Bronny has been alive. That man Giannis scored 20,000 points, the sixth youngest to ever get to 20,000, and there was no post on Instagram, on Twitter, no segment. And you think I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden you would talk about when Thanasis gets minutes? Man, get the fuck out of here. That's why I'm not believing the bullshit. My problem with all of this is the disingenuous rhetoric.
Hey, bro, this nigga low be snapping, cuz. Bro, this nigga low be snapping, bro. LeBron justified. Everything I said is erased now because of all that shit he just said. All that shit he just said. You had all of these opportunities. You on some bullshit, Stephen A. ESPN, y'all on some bullshit. I don't care that he was in the wrong for pressing him about covering his son. You niggas on some bullshit, and you niggas is using LeBron as an infinite money glitch when he retire. Y'all just gonna have to keep doing LeBron James and Jordan debate. That's all it's gonna be. Y'all gonna do the Tom Brady Patrick Mahomes debate. Or y'all just gonna talk about Patrick Mahomes all day. I don't know who y'all gonna talk about. Y'all be, boy, I can't wait for the post LeBron era in media, bro. This shit is gonna be hilarious.
That comes behind it. The same way that I wanted us to be honest about what nepotism really was, how someone could benefit and also be a victim of nepotism back a couple of months ago. This idea that we're sitting here acting as if like all second round picks, 55th overall picks get guaranteed contracts, as if like they ain't just sitting here trying to do the shenanigans for LeBron. Hey, if you want to do it, fine. But I don't have to sit there and applaud it. I mean, it is what it is. Oh, shout out to LeBron, shout out to Bronny. But that's it. You all make it a story. All of this stuff is disingenuous. All of it is nonsense. Stop acting as if like we have to separate you from social media when y'all talking points come from social media. Stop acting as if like you do a fair, unbalanced coverage of who Bronny is as an athlete because you all don't do that. Stop acting like it's that far-fetched for someone to believe or take offense of you trying to judge their parenting when you quite literally lead with as a parent. And please stop acting like a victim that he came and approached you in the middle of the game because nigga, that's what you have been asking for the last 10 years. So again, this is a nuanced conversation where both parties can own some level of responsibility and faults at all of this. But Stephen A. Smith, once more trying to absolve himself any form of criticism or accountability or responsibility while also trying to put himself in higher regards than everyone else, while also sitting here telling niggas and baiting them, you know where to find me, while also not doing your fucking due diligence by giving niggas detailed nuance and information that is valuable to the story. I am sick and tired of you playing the victim. All y'all niggas is weird. The whole story has been weird, and nobody doesn't want to have a real honest conversation around it.
I'm willing to, man, but like, and be subjective about it, like getting on LeBron and Bronny and criticizing them fairly with nuance, and then coming to Stephen A. and saying, "Hey, yeah, you was on some bullshit in these first 5-minute games, and he was on some bullshit bringing your son into the NBA and putting all these expectations on him. You're guilty of that, LeBron." Saying that, but where I'm done with Stephen A. is he trying to be the bully or say he's trying to be the bully and the victim at the same time, saying, "Oh, you trying to come beat up on me, oh poor old media guy, oh poor old ESPN guy," and then get on your show and say, "I thought it was weak, I thought it was some bullshit." When you didn't keep the same energy. I'm not saying you had to beat him up, but I'm saying if you're gonna get on the air and boost ratings and play the character and be the heel and be media, Stephen A. media tough guy. I'm not even saying you being tough, but like you standing on your words, you using your words, you doing a verbal judo. If he come and press you like you've been asking for, be prepared for that. Or I would think you prepare for that. Or is it just a character on TV?